Hi, this is Ed. Welcome to the Outer Light channel again. Well, before I go on, I just want to thank my patrons at patreon.com/theouterdark. Also over at steemit.com/theouterlight. And I have another video coming tomorrow on my Patreon account. But here with Puerto Rico has been hit by a major Category 4 hurricane. So this wasn't a Category 5, but it was enough to devastate the entire location. I'm going to go through some photos here so you can take a look at it. But here's the headline here from the Daily Mail. Puerto Rico, 3.4 million residents face a grim 6 months without power after Hurricane Maria's 155 miles per hour winds ravaged the island and sparked flash flooding, killing at least one, as the mayor of the capital says. The San Juan, we knew it is no longer there. So if you don't know the categories, that's a 155. So that's like a 10 miles per hour, 5 miles per hour from a Category 5, I believe, from memory. So it's a Category 4 storm, a hurricane, but it's a major Category 4 hurricane. This is 155 miles per hour winds in a country which, the way that it's built and things like that are not up to first world levels, first world countries, so they don't have that kind of architectural check or engineering check on buildings to make sure the buildings can withstand these very strong winds. Well, at least the public housing there and the businesses. The governmental businesses, of course, are different. Main key points here. Puerto Rico is currently without power. Of course, the island is also preparing for flash flooding as torrential rain is expected to continue through Thursday. So this is from 21st of September, so this is still happening. The storm is currently a Category 3 hurricane, but expected to rise to Category 4 again. It's already a Category 4 as reported over here. I believe it was a hit as a Category 4, I believe, or at that stage. Let's just have a look here. Yeah, see, it's on Wednesday morning as a Category 4. So it made landfall in Puerto Rico as a Category 4 hurricane. So this is the 22nd of September, so this is like a day later. So let's have a look at some of the actual photos here, because the worst possible case of coming from a Category 3 to a Category 4 happened, and it caused massive devastation. So have a look at some of these photos here. So just utter obliteration there. You can see these concrete walls, steel reinforced walls, although I'm not sure that's actually concrete. It looks like the brick or something like that. Yes, it's a brick building, it looks like, and of course it's just been plastered. So first of all, when I looked at that, I thought a concrete wall would probably withstand it, of course, if it was reinforced, but no, it looks like a brick building there. You can tell by the colour there. Just completely, utterly obliterated. Looks like somewhere like Syria or something like that. As you can see, these large power transformers there, or small transformers they look like, they're really have sustained damage themselves. And you have what looks like a pretty a building itself. I'm not sure, this is down by a marina, and just utterly ripped apart there. Trees everywhere. It just looks like something came through there and tore everything apart. More damage here to cars. Really, the bonnet, the wind must have got under the bonnet to such an extent it literally pulled the bonnet back there. Flooding, look at the flooding there, just everywhere. Where I grew up, it was flooded all the time. It was like I was living in a swimming pool. Okay, it was flooding every season until they put up the stop banks to stop the floodwaters. But I'll tell you a story. I'd walk outside, literally outside my door, a whole street would be that much floodwater. So that flooded in our garage all the time. And I used to just walk out in it. Of course, I spent most of my time on an inflatable boat down by the river, fishing and doing stuff. So New Zealand's had a few hurricanes itself. We have a lot of hilly country here, so there's a lot of topography to the landscape that breaks hurricane force winds, so they land heavy, but the damage isn't that intense in some places. Again, plus we're a first world nation. I mean, if you want to go build a tree house, you have to go to the government and get a form. You get an engineer to come out there and check it. Of course, no one really does that, but that's the equivalent of it. I mean, if anything, you want to go down the letterbox and dig a hole, you've got to go ask the council, sign certain papers. I mean, it's ridiculous, but with structures, of course, it's important because you don't want them collapsing on people. But if I want to dig a hole, I mean, it's a big deal. People do it, but you can't. There's a lot of regulations and stuff around everything. So these are classical flood water. You'll probably see that after any good rain. It's quite deep there, but not too bad. The boat looks like it was obviously it isn't blowing out of the water. It was probably hoisted up on there in order to get some repair to the hull or something like that, sanded down, and it was literally overturned there. Gas station looks a pretty disrepair. All the paneling and stuff just completely ripped off it. It's pretty standard, although that that is pretty intense, but it's pretty standard for kind of damage at sea. This kind of damage as well. Corrugated iron. This cheap corrugated iron is a death trap in a hurricane. Flying around with these pretty much like flying razor blades, you have to be very careful, right? But again, a lot of damage there. You see strong winds in this location. Classical kind of damage here. Flooded area underneath the dip there in the roadway. It's really standard flooding. I don't know if people see this kind of flooding a lot, but I see it all the time. So, this is a lot of damage there. The poor people. It's going to take a lot of time to repair all of this damage. There's no doubt about that. So your heart goes out to all these people that have to suffer through it. And a lot of the major damage, of course, will be the fact that they're without power. When you're without power, a lot of people who are dependent on power, they won't be able to cook. You can't cool your home, or heat your home. You can't turn on the lights. So there's a lot of problems, and there's a lot of sociological increases that come from that. People, there'll probably be increased looting, crime, violence, telephone communications are down, cell phones. You've got to remember that if you're without power, they're going to fundamentally go through a cultural shift here, and that's that they don't have instant communication. Remember, how many people have landlines anymore? So if you're out power, it means you're without communication now, because you have to plug in your cell phone, right? So without power, no communication, a lot of the things that happen to individuals are not going to be reported. So looks like building here. Looks like they're repairing some stuff, getting in there. Some 4x4s down the road. I don't think they're 4x4s though. Sawing up the trees and just moving away for the traffic. Not looking too bad here. This major damage to an old tree, it looks like. And it looks like that's some epic damage there. Really kind of blowing all over that concrete post there. Mind you, when you look at that concrete thing, you're thinking, why is that so thick and heavy? Why isn't... Usually it's about a third underground, right? So you're expecting about a third under there. So it should run down about a third into the ground and not to fall over. But with a big sign like that, which it's got a lot of wind on it, it has an effect over the hours, right? There's just a hurricane itself, and see if there's the path itself, so it's going through there, heading up here to Cuba. The San Juan here in Puerto Rico was seen during blackout after Hurricane Maria. Strange they've got a blackout there and it's all blue. Just really classic hurricane damage there. A lot of things destroyed. Wow, look at that. It looks like something out of that dystopic science fiction movie, The Road. It looks like an atomic apocalypse or something. More damage there. Poor people. I mean, imagine your home there. You've been living in it all your life, and then suddenly you have this. You have nowhere to live anymore. So that's some epic damage there. I mean, that's just total destruction, So look at these old buildings here. You notice anything different about these old buildings that were built back in the I'd say, judging by that building, it's late 18 something, but it would be later 19th century, of course. So you're dealing with about 1860 or something like that. I'm guessing. What about these old buildings? Well, they're still standing. These things stand forever, okay? Because people used to know how to build stuff back then. I'm not saying people don't know how to build now, but everything's so expensive, people have to build the house out of some, really cheap materials, right? Live in one of these things, they'll be there forever. These probably endured like civil wars and stuff, and like armies floating through, and hurricanes after hurricane, This person here looks like he's pretty cold, alright, going through there. Looks in high spirits though, probably cold by the water. Women rescues bird. Just the crop damage there. Of course, that's going to happen. There's no doubt about that. Looks like a bunch of palm trees or some description. Palm oil damaged. Oh, banana plantation there. Looks like some damage here. People just trying to work out these, pick up those pieces of metal. Yeah, more of it. More damage, I guess. Just damage, so much damage, really. Of course, it is a hurricane, so you're going to see a lot of it. All this here. I think we've probably gone through any other classic pictures here. I mean, I'm going to put a link to this in the comments section. You can see the winds themselves. It's insane. Look at that wind. Blow that up a little bit for cell phone users. Like a middle of a, well, it is a storm, isn't it? It looks like you're out on the ocean or something. There's such much stuff flying by. It's crazy. So really, that's it, really. I just wanted to show you a few pictures here and have a look down here, see if we've got some other ones. I guess these are similar. This is really the flood itself, I guess. Trees overturned. Geez, look at that damage. That's insane. Really, a lot of rebuilding here for these people trying to get their lives together in some pretty intense situations. They're doing what they can to help each other and really just continue, really. Look at that, whole entire roof just blowing off that. Okay, wow, look at that. The car just absolutely crushed. It's been like thrown around like some kind of, kite or something. Some heavy duty here. A group of Marines bound for the hurricane ravaged Puerto Rico border. MV-22 Osprey at sunrise on the flight deck of the USS Kearsarge. These always look funny to me, those helicopters. They look like something out of Aliens or something. Looks science fiction-esque, although they've been around for a long time now, I guess. Of course, they look like helicopters, but really these blades, they go down and turn into planes. But of course they are they hover up, right? Yeah. Soaring down the trees. More damage, of course. Statue. Looks like it's just fallen over there. It's a statue of mother and child or something. We have some more just really cleaning up the streets. More of them again. It's the hurricane predictions, I guess. Got a video of just people helping each other. And we've seen all these pictures, I believe. Most of them anyway, yeah. Wow, look at that. It's really ripped up that. Looks like some kind of like... I mean, these trees look like something out of some kind of fantasy movie. They're really very wicked looking. Wow, look at that video. I mean, look at the flood water there. It's just like it's taken the sea and dumped it on the town. Lucky that there isn't so many deaths. Of course, I think there's like 32 or 30 deaths or something. Not sure. I have to check over here. Can't remember how many deaths there are. Oh, this is for the 21st here, so this doesn't have the upgraded category 4. But yeah, so it was a category 3, got upgraded to a category 4, and then that was really it. So it's dropped now, of course. Miriam made landfall on Puerto Rico on Wednesday morning as a Cat 4 hurricane with 155 miles an hour winds. It's dropped to a Cat 2 overnight, but regained some of its major hurricane status, rising to a Hurricane 3 early Thursday. So yeah, that's it pretty much. And it was a massively devastating storm. It's already sadly taken 10 lives there. Looks like 10 there. I think it's Maria has already been blamed for 10 deaths, 1 in Puerto Rico, 7 in and 2 in these other places, really. But I just want to show you some pictures. Obviously terrible tragedy to Puerto Rico here. And go into your own research course, take a look. Have a look for yourselves. So in the meantime, though, this is Ed from the Light. Stay safe, and I'll see you all later.